His Excellency, Secretary General of the United Nations, Antonio Guterres, Their Excellencies, the co-chairs for today's event, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed a singular privilege to be present at this important high-level replenishment conference for the Peace Building Fund, that too on the day when my country celebrates its 72nd Republic Day. We believe that 2021 provides us with an opportunity to look at peace building in the broader context and in a more focused manner, especially in the context of COVID pandemic, which is threatening to erode the gains we have made over the years. The recently concluded 2020 review of the UN peace building architecture gives us a framework to strengthen peace building collectively. We appreciate that as a part of its 2020-24 strategy, the Peace Building Fund has put forth a comprehensive scenario covering a horizon of 5 years. There is no doubt that conflict prevention is essential to ensure that peacekeeping translates into something more durable for the benefit of the people. For this, we need determined support from member states to strengthen the hands of the United Nations. As the world's largest democracy, we are conscious of the need to prioritize the building of governance structures to strengthen democracy and the rule of law. India also recognizes the critical role played by women and youth in peace-building activities. Strengthening security structures go hand in hand with strengthening civilian structures of good governance. We need to consequently prioritize our focus on specific aspects of peace building which will have the highest impact in post-conflict situations so that the funds are utilized to the optimum. We should at the same time ensure that our commitment and efforts to realize Agenda 2030 on Sustainable Development Goals do not falter in the context of COVID-19. India has always played a constructive and significant role in the context of peace building through its extensive development partnership with developing countries, particularly in Africa and Asia. India has and continues to assist countries bilaterally in post-conflict situations by providing substantial grants and soft loans. Apart from focusing on infrastructure, especially housing, education and health, on connectivity, on providing livelihood to those impacted by conflict, especially in agriculture, and on projects at the grassroots level which directly impact the lives of people. India also provides extensive education, training and capacity building, including vocational training and IT, focusing particularly on the youth. For example, in Afghanistan, India has undertaken projects in every province of Afghanistan. In training, our focused training for countries coming out of conflict, in Africa, for example, in the areas of electoral administration, good governance, etc., has been deeply valued by these countries. At the same time, we have tried to enhance the security environment of these countries, since peace, security, and development have to go together. In the context of the COVID pandemic, India is fulfilling its commitment to make available our vaccines to other countries and has already supplied more than 6 million doses to 9 countries in phase 1 as grant assistance, etc. Getting back on our feet from COVID at the earliest is the best way of ensuring that we build back better and prevent COVID-related conflicts. While I would like to assure you all of our sincere commitment to remain engaged in peace building, we extend our support to the activities of the Peace Building Fund, and as a token of our engagement, India would like to announce today a pledge of $150,000 to the fund's activities and program this year. Excellencies, India has always been known for its unflinching commitment to peacekeeping. We are convinced that nation-building activities will be strengthened even more if the road ahead includes strong support for peace building as well. Thank you.